So here, branching is nothing but unconditional jump. It is like unconditional jump. It will never check out any condition that there is a certain condition. If accumulator equal to 0 or if carry is set, so that and all come into condition type of instructions. So branch is instruction is nothing but we are jumping from one place to another place without any condition, like subprogram in C language. If you see, there will be a simple main function. So in the main function, you will have the set of instructions, okay, like this. Suddenly you will start a subprogram here. Subprogram will be called, okay. If you call a subprogram, the control will move from main program to subprogram. That is, suddenly it will move to subprogram. Okay, subprogram called program. Okay, and it will execute your subprogram. This is where the control is transferred from main program to subprogram. Once again, after completing the subprogram, the control will once again move to the main program, right? So how the program flow from main program to the subprogram? In C language, similar way, in assembly also, the branch type of instructions will follow the same structure. Okay. So let us see what are all the instructions related to branch instructions. See, these are all branch instructions, right? These are all branch instructions which are unconditional jump. Unconditional. Okay. That is without any condition. Once, that is, if you have this A call or L call instruction in your program, the control will automatically move to this corresponding address, and whatever the instruction stored in this address, it will start to execute. Okay. Any doubt? So if you know this logic, everything is simple. Okay. And there are some other instructions. They are conditional jump. That is, it comes into looping instruction. They are conditional jump. Okay, conditional jump. That is, it will jump. It will jump if the condition is true. If the condition is true, that is, the condition is true, it will jump to the corresponding location. Which location you should give in the program, that is in the instruction. See, for example, this is your instruction, right? Simple example. So first of all, you know what is this instruction? JZ, right? Which means that jump if accumulator is 0. Jump if accumulator is 0. See, if accumulator is 0, jump to this particular address. What is this address you have placed here? Label. Any doubt? See, if you, I told you two instructions example. If you know these two, everything is simple. Any doubt here? We will see one by one. So these everything come into this looping instructions. Okay. Okay. Any doubt here? Branching instruction is unconditional jump, whereas looping instructions are conditional jump. If condition is true, it will jump to this address. Here, no condition is checked. If you give a call or absolute call, the address, the program control will move to the corresponding address where your subprogram starts. Where your subprogram starts. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now we'll move on to the each and every instruction separately. Okay. Okay. So a call is nothing but absolute call. What we name it as absolute call. Okay. So followed by, so you will be having 11-bit address. So no need to get confused with this. Always you follow this structure. That is a call label. A call label. Any type user defined label. Right? That is, see, for example, I have an instruction, I have a program sequentially. This is my assembly program. Okay. This is my assembly program. I have in some address, I have used a call pulse. What is this pulse? Pulse is my label. I can give any name here. I can use my name also. I can use XYZ, whatever may be. It is user defined. This is the label. That is, this is your main program. After executing this, the control will move to the corresponding address which points to label. This is your address. Okay. Because there only you have mentioned this label. See, this is the memory address where these instructions is loaded. Okay, this no need to worry about this. No need to by heart. For easy understanding, I'm telling you put a call, put a label. Wherever this label you required, I want this label to be placed here. Put label, colon you should mention here. Okay, then you start your instruction where your subprogram starts. Subprogram starts. Okay, subprogram starts. Okay. See, always one more point, important point I will say. If you use a call or L call, okay, the program control will move from the corresponding address. This subprogram should have certain return function, that is return instruction. That is, if you want to come back to the main program, all the subprogram in assembly language, it will have RET, return. If the controller going on executing like this, suddenly if it executes RET, the control flow will once again get back to the main program that is next to the instruction of a call. So just now I have given a small example by using C language. Okay, same flow, right? Nothing different. Okay, same flow. Okay, so in assembly language we use a call or L call. Okay, coming to this 11-bit address. Okay, which means that here the bit address will be considered only 11 bits. Okay, not 16 bits. And these values should be within the block of 2 kilobytes. That is 2 kilobytes means it can jump to only 2 kilo locations, not more than that. That is the point I would like to say. It cannot, for example, the memory capacity is 64K. You cannot jump to this 64K. No, it is not possible. Only to certain span only you can jump. So always prefer L call always, because so I will go to L call instruction, which is 16-bit address. So you can use the entire memory. You can use entire memory. See, use L call, subroutine is the label. The control will move on to the subroutine, start to execute. If it found returns, come back to the main program. Okay, that is the difference between a call and absolute call. Okay, Any doubt? Any doubt here? No need to by heart these operations. Nothing. No need. This everything will be taken care by controller. You no need to by heart. You must know this. Either this, and you must know the operation. What happens? Okay. Nothing to worry. Not a very difficult type of instructions. Very simple. Like a sub program, it will execute. Okay, A call and L call. Any doubt here? Any doubt? No doubt. We can move to the next instruction.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next instruction already we discussed return. Right. So always subprogram should end with RET. So here no need address. Okay. Only return is enough. In all the subprogram, once you the program flow, if you add L call some address, okay, or label 1, there will be some instructions like move something or add something. Okay, this label you will be placing somewhere here where you need the subprogram to be started or whatever the requirement you need. So always this subprogram should end with return. Once return is executed, then probably the control flow will come back to the next instruction of L call. Okay, next instruction to the L call. Right. I'll give you small examples also. Now, so then we have RETI, that is written from interrupt subroutine. So this is not more, we will not use very often. Rarely system will have subprograms for interrupt. For example, anything divided by 0. So system will automatically interrupt it. Okay, it will throw some error. So in that subprogram, it will have RETI. So mostly we will not use RETI. So just for understanding, coming to the simple example for better understanding. Okay, see what happens here. I have a main program. Inside the main program, I have one subprogram. Inside my subprogram, I have one more subprogram. Okay, so all are completely forms a one complete program. Okay, right. So let us see what's happening. So I'm going to use L call or A call space some address. Okay. So in the name of address, you can use some label. Always use some label. Okay. No need to specify address. It is will be very confusing for you. Right. Some address. See, to that particular address, the control will be moved and it will start to execute instructions. Once again, in subprogram A, you have one more call instructions and some address. The control will move to corresponding address and it will start to execute. Okay. Right. First, the controller is executing RET, that is return instruction. What happens? The control will move to the next instruction of call, that is the subroutine A. Okay. It will go here and it will start to execute here. Right. So once again, there is another loop that subprogram will be ended. That is subroutine A will be ended. Okay. A will be ended if controller executes another return instruction. Once again, the control will move back to the next to the instruction of call and it will start to execute. Okay. This is how the flow of branch instructions. Okay. This is the flow of branch instructions, especially A call and L call. Okay. So I'll tell you operation, what happens? See, if the controller execute this call, this address, what happens? The control will move to this location. Fine. Before that, the controller will automatically do, that is, it will load the next address into the stack. Okay, why it stores into the stack in the sense, once you return back, that is whatever it is pushing into the stack, this particular address, once you come back, while coming back, the controller will automatically pop out the corresponding address from the stack, so that it will execute, it will take this particular address and it will start to execute. Okay, the address is stored in the stack before your control moves to the subroutine A. Okay, any doubt here? Just this is the operation. See, you can go back here. See, this is the operation done by controller automatically. That is, it will be pushing or popping the data from stack. Okay, from stack data is popped. Stack pointer is decremented and data is popped. So now the program counter has 16-bit address. Okay, that address is here. That address is this 16-bit address, which we pop. Okay, this is popping out for return function. Okay, this is how the controller executes. Okay, but our point is very simple. We are just writing a call label. A call label. Label is a subroutine. So here you can use label, call, and your instruction will be started. Our part is very simple. The controller will take care of pushing and popping everything. Okay, no need to worry. Right. I think you have understood subroutine part. Okay. Now we will move to some other unconditional jump instructions. Right. That is, we have three types of one more. That is branch instructions, like short jump, long jump, absolute jump. Okay. But see, it has different format. That L jump 16-bit address. Okay, no need to worry about 16-bit or whatever. L jump target. Target is the label now. See, if you type the controller executes L jump target, then target is a label. The control will flow to the or move on to the target label. Then it will start to execute this. Okay, now see, there is no return now. Okay, there is no return now because it is not a subprogram. We are just controlling the flow of program. Wherever you want to jump, you can jump it. Okay, wherever you want to jump, you can jump it. But there is some specific restriction that if you use long jump, you can jump from this place to this place. It is possible. But whereas if you use short jump, only you are allowed to jump 128 or 127. That is, in forward, it can move 127 location. That is, from this location, understand carefully, from this location to another location where you want to jump to this location, the offset locations should be 128 maximum. More than that, it will never work for short jump. So similar way, for air jump, only 2 kilo locations you can jump. Okay, only 2 kilo locations you can jump. That is the main difference. Rest everything very simple. Okay, see, nothing see, it will, if you use a jump label, it will jump to corresponding label. Okay, here no return function. That's it. Short jump, see short jump. Short jump, you must use where a very small, that is 128 locations only it can jump. Okay, not more than that. Okay, start. Okay, any doubt here? Jump is normal jump. Okay, so for example, if there is an instruction jump space at, you have addition of 2 register value. So at, if you add 2 register value, if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 bit, okay, 16-bit address. So it will go to this particular address. Okay, nothing to worry. Right. So right. Next we will speak about the conditional jump, or what we say as a loop instructions. Okay, or flow control instructions. Loop instructions are nothing but flow control instructions. Okay, see now here from this instruction you must understand jump if accumulator is 0. If accumulator is 0, where to jump? The condition is true or false? True. If at all condition is true, the control will move to this corresponding address. Any doubt? Any doubt here? Because very important. See, today's class is very important for you. You must understand, no other way. That is, see, from instruction you must understand you are going to jump. J for jump. Z stands for here 0. When accumulator is 0, jump. That's it. Where to jump? This address. Okay, relative address. Or you can use label. Always use label for easy understanding. Any doubt? Okay. See here, jump, you are going to jump to this address. When you are going to jump, if accumulator is not 0, that is the content inside the accumulator is not 0, jump to the relative address. That's it. See here it is mentioned. Jump if accumulator is not 0. That is, if accumulator is A equal to 1, then condition is true now. Condition is true, you are jumping to relative address. Okay, that is jumping to the label, that particular label. Fine. Jump, what is the C? C is nothing but carry. C is carry. Where is this carry bit? Carry bit in which register? Which register? Program status word. Status. Okay, if any addition operation does by your controller, the status register will be reflected. Okay, that is, if there is any carry, the particular carry bit will be set or reset. Now, jump if carry, that is, if carry is 1, jump to the relative address. Okay, jump if carry equal to not 1, that is, if carry is 0, jump to the relative address. Okay, so similar way, see, jump bit is set. This particular bit is set. See, bit equal to 1. This bit is 1. Jump to the address. If bit equal to 0, jump to the relative address. Okay, right. So next, jump if bit is set. This bit is set. Okay, bit is set. Jump to the relative address. Before jumping to this address, you have to clear it. That is, make this bit as 0. jump if bit equal to 1 and clear it, that particular bit. That is, before checking the condition, we are checking that if it is a 1 jumping, before jump, clear it. Okay, that is the concept. See, from this description, you must understand everything. Okay, now we will move on to compare and jump not equal. Okay. It's very simple. Next instruction. See, compare and jump not equal. See, so simple. Let us take this particular instruction. Okay, we will take this. See, I'm going to compare these two values. Okay, I'm going to compare. So let us assume both, that is accumulator equal to 60 value, 60H. Okay, keep in mind accumulator as a 60H. Now, what is this 60H? Here in the instruction, you have 60H. That is a data or address. Data or address?
Data.
Data.
Data, sir.
Okay, data. See, now I'm going to compare this 60H in the accumulator and also this data. Okay. After comparing, I'm going to jump to where this particular label. Okay, my condition is not equal. If both are not equal, then condition is satisfied. It will jump to corresponding address. But what happens? Both are equal, then probably hello. So I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See here, for better understanding, I have given compare destination and source and jump to the relative address if not equal. Okay, keep in mind, see, if both are not equal, jump to the corresponding address. If both are equal, move on to the next instruction. That is, if both are equal. See, for example, here I have given example. If both are equal, the condition is false. Condition is false. Move on to the next instruction. If condition is true, that is, if both are not equal, jump to the corresponding address. The control will automatically move on to here. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
It's the same, just all the instructions same only. You are going to compare these two values. Okay. You are if both are not equal, if both are not equal, jump to corresponding address. That's it. Okay. Both the values are not equal, jump to the corresponding address. That's it. Simple. No need to get confused. Yeah. Finally, we will discuss the decrement and jump not zero. Okay. See, now I'm going to jump to this relative address. Okay. Before that, I'm going to decrement this this particular register. Okay. If it is not 0, jump to relative address. See, for example, this is my standard instruction: decrement, jump, not 0. Okay, which is not 0? This particular register. This particular 0 is not 0. If it is not 0, the condition is satisfied. Jump to target. Let us have a simple example. Move R2, hash 02. Now R2 has a data 02, right? Fine. Clear accumulator. Now accumulator equal to 0. Okay. Increment A. So now accumulator equal to 1. Right. So decrement R0. Now I'm going to decrement so that R0 equal to 1. Right. R0 equal to 1. Jump to relative address if it is not 0. If it is not 0, jump to relative address, whether it is 0 or not 0. Zero or not 0. It is having value 1, right? So it is
Not zero, sir.
not 0.